back to the Bloom Diaries. My name is Raina.
And I'm Emily.
Today, we are going to be talking about how to form healthy habits for yourself. We want to touch on a few topics. You have to identify how serious it is for you, what the purpose is, and how you're able to integrate it into your life. And so I definitely want to have us share our experiences with forming healthy habits, especially like what steps it takes for us to get to where we want to be.
I think I'm still struggling with picking up healthy habits. I feel like sometimes it feels forced because I'm forcing myself to like eat or make healthy recipes and whatnot. So I think I'm still struggling a little bit. I genuinely love doing Pilates. So I think that was one healthy habits I picked up, and I actually stopped going because it got expensive, but I'm still doing Pilates at home. Other than that, I feel like I'm still struggling a lot with like my eating habits. What about you? Do you
Yeah,
get what I mean though? Like,
yeah, definitely hard trying to adjust, having to make changes for yourself. It's gonna take a while just to seem natural and just go with the flow. But I definitely get you. Yeah. A habit that I successfully do now is make my bed. I know that's like something really small and simple, but I used to just get up and just leave my bed and not do anything to fix it. Now it would just bother me if I don't make my bed. Sometimes I would walk by and my bed is all made and like it looks all fresh and clean. I personally like that. Another healthy habit that I have is being a little bit more mindful about what I put in my body. With healthy eating and like drinking water, it can be really difficult for some people. It was really hard for me in the past. Like I used to just eat whatever I wanted and my body felt fine. But now if I were to go to like Dutch Bros or something, it's like too sweet for me. I'm able to understand what kind of foods I'm putting into my body and what makes me feel a certain way because we're also aging. Definitely want to make sure that we're able to grow productively and have healthy habits for ourselves. Those are two habits. Another one is with skincare. I've been doing it more on the daily, so I
mhm.
think it's doing better. My makeups goes on much smoother, which is very nice because, it feels so much better. And sometimes I feel like days I can go without makeup, seeing how it actually works, the effect of my skin and my happiness, like it really does help. It does take a while to see results, but with consistency and discipline, I think it's very manageable. And something I want to talk about is how to make your habit more attainable and making sure that it's easy for you. Emily said, when it doesn't feel natural to you, I think just finding an easier way to make it simpler for you is very important. There was this book called The Atomic Habits. The author talked about making your habits more easier for yourself so that you're more willing to do it. As long as like you pick up the consistency, you'll be able to form that habit and it doesn't feel like a chore anymore. So, for example, like laying out your fitness clothes right where you can see it when you wake up, that can like motivate you to go out for a run the next morning. Or just making sure that you have your water bottle right next to your bedstand. That's easier for you to drink water more often, right?
Mhm.
So, I think just making it easier for yourself where you can see exactly where your habit is going to be placed at. It kind of reminds yourself to do that. I think another question I wanted to ask is what are you trying to unlearn at the moment? If you have any actions that you're planning to quit or disassociate from.
Okay. I was working at a preschool. Every single morning, I have to pick up Starbucks coffee before I go into work. And I don't want to do that when I first wake up. I drink coffee. So, another going back to like another healthy habit that I recently picked up was making sure I drink a full glass of water before drinking coffee, energy drinks, or like sugary drinks. So I've been doing that pretty good. So I feel like that was one of the habits that I am slowly trying to like get rid of, which I'm really proud of myself because like how Reina mentioned, we're growing older and we want to make sure we take care of ourselves and our body. So I've been trying to drink a full glass of water I'm almost done. I'm gonna finish this before I drink my Pepsi. But yeah, so far, like sometimes I don't even crave for coffee or energy drinks. So I'm really proud of myself for that. Another thing I want to unlearn. I work from home. I can easily take my laptop and go lay in bed and work from there. But that's something I don't want to do because I end up going on my phone and just scrolling through TikTok for like hours. And I don't feel motivated whenever I'm in bed with my laptop because I would bring my laptop and my SD card and I would like, okay, I'm gonna lay in bed and edit YouTube video. I never do. So I've been meaning to designate my desk as my working desk, that I do all my work here and bed is just for sleeping and lounging. That's it. That's what I've been trying to unlearn. I'm still having a hard time with that, but is there anything that you want to unlearn?
Yeah, I think those are really good points that you made there. I think
hmm
it's really hard to try to get on that grind and try to change that for yourself. So I'm really proud of you for trying really hard to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. For me, you know how when you wake up in the mornings and you just have your phone right next to you? Like, I
Oh,
feel
that's
like
yeah, that's
yeah, like that
hmm
just makes me wake up and stare at my phone for like at least 20 minutes before getting ready. And I could use that 20 minutes for doing something else, meditating, journaling or something productive.
hmm
So just laying in bed and scrolling. That's a problem we have in today's society, but I think that's something I'm still trying to adjust.
Now that we're talking about healthy habits and you saying that you've picked up making your bed, I'm like, I gotta go do that. I gotta start doing that again.
Yeah.
I just totally forgot about it because I wake up every morning and I get ready, take him out on a walk, and then I'm here.
Just walking by your room, you're like, ooh, it looks nice.
Yeah, no, for real. It just feels good. It just makes you feel
hmm
good. Mm,
Another topic that I wanted to bring up related to habits is you are what you consume. So that can
mhm,
be not with just diet, but with whoever's influencing you, your family, your friends, social media, who you're following, as well as gossip. Your social circle and whoever you're with in your environment, they can definitely impact your habits as well. It's true that you're the one controlling your own life and what you do on the daily, but whoever is also influencing you will make an impact on your life as well.
I saw a lot of people on TikTok, especially a lot of girls, they said that they wanted to get rid of gossip in their life. That means like whenever they meet up with friends, they don't just gossip about other people. They wanted to like talk more about, oh, how are you doing? How's life? Giving tips, advice to friends and family instead of just gossiping. I'm very petty. And I tend to get really upset at people who hurt the people that I love. But I want to be a lot more patient and try to be a lot more understanding of both sides, like both stories, instead of just taking one side. Every time I meet up with friends, we catch up and then we end up gossiping about other stuff. And so I feel like that's not a really good environment.
If you're consuming the information, you definitely have to set some boundaries for yourself
Yeah.
when it comes to a point where you don't feel like it's necessary or healthy to engage in those activities. So,
hmm
definitely a good time to like start reflecting on what you're participating in and who your friends are, as well as what you're consuming. I think that's very important, especially if
hmm
you want to start getting into planning healthy habits for yourself. The next point I wanted to talk about is the effect of positive words. How you speak to yourself, your words can affect your well being. It's uplifting and can change your mood instantly and be like a confidence booster. So, it can also be a habit that you can integrate into your life as well. I am definitely still going through this. I think something that we tend to not think about on the daily is how we're treating ourselves. Like, am I
Yeah.
treating myself as my own best friend? Like, what would I do this to my best friend?
I'm still struggling with that as well. Ever since growing up, I've just always wanted to hear like validation from like other people when I don't give it to myself, when really it doesn't matter what other people think. Like, you don't need their opinions and their validation for you to feel like, oh, okay, you know? Like, you
Mm.
don't need that. Like, all you really need is yourself to tell yourself that you're okay.
If you kind of grew up not using words
Yeah.
as like positive words of affirmation for yourself or your
Hmm.
family members, it's a change. It's something that I also want to implement into my life just because you feel good when someone compliments you, right? And,
Yeah.
why don't you start doing that to yourself? You can bring positivity to yourself instead of, seeking for someone else to give it back to you. Also, like, speaking to yourself mentally, I think that's something to consider as well. Just because if something goes wrong, like let's say that you went to a job interview and you didn't get the job, right? I know it's easy to think, oh, like maybe I just didn't have enough skills. Maybe I'm just not qualified enough. I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm this, I'm that. Like it's easy to think that way just because you didn't get the job that you wanted. But I think it's something to consider, maybe it just wasn't a right fit for you, and that's why they proceeded on to a different person.
Hmm.
And that doesn't mean that you're not skilled enough. That doesn't mean that you're stupid. You're like so intelligent and you're so brave to be able to even go to that interview in the first place. Practicing does go a long way. It will take time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending how old you are right now, like if you're listening, depending on what your age is, like Raina and I are both like what, 25, 24.
Hmm.
So we've lived like quite a long time and we've experienced many things in our life and we are still here today. All the life events that we've learned throughout our whole life, it's a learning process and we still have more to go, you know?
Hmm.
So just think of it as something that you're learning along the way because you still have so many things to learn. Like the world doesn't end now, you know. Your chapter is just about to begin. So don't be too hard on yourself on that because there's still so much time left and just take your time in learning and practice. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you all.
Because this episode is on self love and forming healthy habits for yourself, don't be too hard on yourself if things aren't going your way, especially with trying to make a habit like, "Ugh, like I can't drink enough water for this day.
Hmm.
It definitely takes a lot of practice, and at least you're trying to be a better, improved version of yourself. And if you have any other ideas that you want us to discuss in our next episodes, leave your comments in the form that we have in our bio or below our YouTube channel description. We would love to hear what you guys think. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify, and we will see you in our next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.